All right, friends, so we have been working really hard on how we make our T numbers, and we know that we can make them using chips, we can use our fingers, and we also learned the new thing called a number bond. So today, as a review, we are going to go over how we can use our chips and our number bond to make all of the T numbers. So here is our 10 frame. One of them's already filled out to show that we already have 10, because when we're doing our T numbers, we always start with 10. We already have 10. And then at the bottom, we have all of our T numbers right there. And then we have our number bond off to the side that we're going to use to help show how we got our T numbers. Okay, so the first number that I want to make is 11. So I already have 10, and remember, 11 is made up of 10 and 1 extra. So I'm going to go ahead and make 1 extra dot. And when I'm writing this in my number bond, I'm going to start with 11 because the total is at the top. So the total at the top is 11, and I made that by having 10 blue dots and 1 extra red dot. So it's made up of 10 and 1. And that gives us a number 11. So that one's done. So now we're going to go on to our number 12. 12. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to write down 12 because that's how many I want. And I know that it's made up of 10, which we already have. I want you guys to see if that's going to stay the same. I want you guys to think about what's staying the same and what's changing. So we have 10 dots, and then to get 12, we're going to have 2 extra red dots. So there, we have 2 extra red dots. And so 12 is made up of 10 and 2. And that's how we use our number bond to show that. Okay, let's go to 13. So 13 is made up of how many blue dots? So 13 is made up of how many blue dots? You're right, 10. And then how many red dots are we going to have? 3. We have 3 extra dots. We have 3 red dots. So we have 10 and 3 gives us 13. All right, so writing this over and over again is getting kind of tiring. After 3 times, I can't imagine doing this all the way to 19. So I noticed that the 10, I never take away the 10 dots, do I? So do I need to keep rewriting 10? No, because these all stay the same. These are always going to be 10. This number changes over here, how many extra dots we have, that changes. So I'm not going to always keep the red number. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that red number. And then when I'm writing, I notice that all of my T numbers right here, all of my T numbers, what number do they all start with? They all start with 1. Look at this. They all start with 1. That shows us that they're a T number because they start with 10 in them, right? So do I have to keep writing that 1? No way. No way. So I'm going to just go ahead and delete that 3 because that 3 always changes because this number, remember, this number right here, the extra dots that we have always changes. So that extra number we have is always going to change. All right, let's keep going. Let's go all the way up to 19 with our number bonds and dots. All right, so I want to go to 14. 13's done, and now I want to go to 14. So I'm going to draw an extra dot. So I have 10 blue dots, and how many extra red dots do I have? 4. And then I can write my total at the top as I already have the 1 there, so I don't need to write it again. 4. So 14 is made up of 10 and 4 extra. All right, let's keep going. Let's try to do this speedy, right? So I can take away this 4, I can take away this 4 because that always changes. And now I'm gonna go on to my next number, which is 15, yeah. So I'm gonna draw another dot. So how many extra dots do I have? 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and just write the 5 right here. 15, because 15 is made up of 10 and 5 extra. All right, you can go ahead and take that away. And let's go ahead and add another dot. So I have 10 and how many extra dots? 6. That gives me 16. And I can write the 16 at the top because it's the total. All right, I'm going to take those away, and I'm going to put in another dot to show 17. So I have 10 and 7 extra, which gives me a total of 17. All right, and then we're almost there. We're almost done. How many extra dots do I have here? 8. I have 10 and 8 extra gives me 18. So I'm just going to go ahead and write the 8 there. All right, and then the last one, friends. Go ahead and take that away. So last one. How many extra dots do I have? I have 9 extra dots. So 10 and 9 extra gives me 19. So we're all done. We got all of our teen numbers in there. Great job. All right, friends, so now you're going to open up to your page 136. You can see at the bottom right there. And we're going to do this together. So let's look at the first problem. So how many blue counters do we have? It's a lot like what we just did. Yeah, we have 10. Can you point to where the 10 is? And I'll circle it. The number 10? Right here. You got it. All right, and how many extra red dots are there? Yeah, there are 4 extra red dots right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then how many does that give us? 10 and 4 extra gives us 14. So now what I want you to do is I want you to take your pencil and trace the number 14 at the top in your student book. So do it with me. 1 and 4 gives us 14. And we're going to write the total just like how we did a couple minutes ago. We write the total at the top. All right, let's look at the second problem. So I want you guys to notice the colors of the numbers and the colors of the dots in this problem. So how many blue dots do we have? You're right, it's the same as last time. We have 10 blue dots. And what color is the number 10? Blue! I think the people who made this book were really smart and thought about that. They wanted to make sure that you guys could see that the number 10 came from the blue dots. That was really nice of them. All right, now let's look at the number 5. Where is the number 5 in this picture? Where are the 5 counters? You're right, they're the 5 red counters, and we know that because the number 5 is red. So now together, I want you to take your pencil and I want you to write down the number. Wait, what number are we going to write down? Do we know yet? How many total counters are there? There's 10 and 5 extra. 10 and 5 extra dots. 15, you're right. 1 and 5 gives us 15. Make sure you have that total at the top in your student book. All right, now let's look at the last problem. So let's look at both counters. How many blue counters are there? 10, just like the other ones, staying the same. So we have 10 blue counters. So go ahead and write 10 there. If you have a blue crayon, go for it. If not, it's okay. All right, now how many red counters are there? 8. There are 8 red counters. So go ahead and write your 8 right there, just like that. All right, and how many total counters are there? 10 and 8 extra gives us, what's that number? 18. So look, we can go ahead and trace the number 18. Because that's the total. 1 and an 8. All right. So, I want you guys to think about what stayed the same, just like how we did earlier. All of our 10s stayed the same. Right there. That's all the same, and that's all the same. Just like how there are always 10 blue dots. That's because our teen numbers always have 10. 10 of something, and then some extra. And the extra numbers kind of change, but it's still a teen number. And all of our teen numbers are made up of 2 numbers put together. So see how there's a 1 and a 4, and then there's a 1 and a 5. They're not added together. 1 and 5, that's not 15, that's 6. But when we write 1 and there's no plus sign, there's no space. There's not room for a space person right there either. So it's just 1 and 5 right after one another. That's a teen number, so that's 15. And then we have 1 and 8. So all of our teen numbers are made up of 2 numbers smushed together. And they always start with what number? 1, because they always have 10 in them. All right, you guys worked really hard. Super proud of you guys for finishing page 136. Give yourselves a nice pat on the back. And I will see you for your next problem.